Alright, now let's tackle this. We need to connect to a Cassandra database hosted on company's infrastructure. We have found that Cassandra is not listed as native connector. Option A says Microsoft SQL Server database. Microsoft SQL Server database connector is designed only for SQL Server systems, so it cannot connect to Cassandra. Incorrect. If you want the PDF version of this course, please enroll in Diamond membership or above by clicking the join button now. Once enrolled, please connect and inbox me on LinkedIn @CloudGuruAmit or Instagram @AmitPhysique. I'll be glad to help you out with the PDF version of this course and hands-on files if available for this course. Option B says ODBC. ODBC provides a generic interface that works with third-party ODBC drivers. Cassandra has ODBC drivers available, making this as a valid connector choice. We'll keep it. Option C says OLEDB. OLEDB is another interface but is less commonly supported for Cassandra, so it's not the practical solution here. Wrong choice. Option D says OData. OData is intended for RESTful web services, not for direct database connections like Cassandra. Incorrect. Option B, ODBC is the right choice. Here we go with a brainstorming question. A solution should meet 1, 2 and 3 requirements. Option A, direct query keeps hitting the SQL server for every visual, which increases online processing and slows rendering. Incorrect. Option B, a gateway is already in place for the data flow. Adding another layer doesn't reduce processing and still leaves visuals slow due to direct query. Wrong choice. Option C, import mode loads data into the dataset, so calculations happen during refresh instead of at query time. This reduces online query load, speeds up visuals, and a daily refresh ensures data is current up to yesterday. Let's keep it. Option D, hourly refresh consumes unnecessary resources. Daily refresh is enough to meet up to yesterday requirement, that is the previous day. Let's delete it. Option C is the right answer. Now let's tackle this scenario here. So Power BI reports where suspicious activity is visible almost instantly within a couple of minutes. Option A SQL statement can filter or shape queries but doesn't control how quickly new rows appear in reports. It cannot meet the near real-time visibility requirement. Incorrect. Now let's move to option B. Option B, command timeout only sets how long a query can run before failing. It doesn't affect data freshness or ensure updates are reflected quickly. Wrong choice. Option C, import mode caches data and relies on scheduled refresh. Even with frequent refreshes, it cannot guarantee updates within a couple of minutes, so it fails the near real-time requirement. Option D says use direct query mode for dataset connection. Direct query queries the Azure SQL database on demand, so reports always show the most recent transactions. This satisfies the requirement of data being visible almost instantly within a couple of minutes after updates, which import cannot guarantee. Option D is the right answer. Now let's look at this scenario here. We need to import a Microsoft Excel file stored in OneDrive into a Power BI dataset. Option A, Excel workbook connector works for local files but requires a gateway for refresh. That breaks the requirement of refresh in powerbi.com without gateway. Option B, text or CSV connector applies only to CSV files. Since the file is Excel, this connector cannot be used to maintain refresh. We'll delete it. Option C says use the SharePoint folder connector. The folder connector can be used when OneDrive syncs file locally or through mapped paths. It allows Power BI to detect the Excel file inside the synced folder and supports refresh when the sync keeps the file updated in the cloud. Option D says use the web connector. Since OneDrive for Business is backed by SharePoint Online, the SharePoint folder connector provides cloud-based access. It supports scheduled refresh in Power BI service and is reliable for enterprise scenarios. Option C and D are the right answers. Now let's tackle this scenario here. We have analyzed incidents by date and use Power BI's built-in date hierarchy. Option A, last 11 characters only capture time portion, that is 1445, which cannot be converted into a valid date hierarchy. Incorrect. Option B, recorded time contains the text at, so Power BI cannot interpret it as a valid date format, leaving it as text. Let's delete it. Option C, splitting recorded time using at separates the date, that is 2025 3/15 and time 1445 into two columns. The date column can be set to date type, enabling Power BI's built-in date hierarchy. Let's keep it. Option D, first 11 characters give the date, that is 2025 03/15, but discards the time if you look, which reduces flexibility and may not handle variations cleanly. Option C is the right answer. Now let's tackle this scenario here. We need to load only the manufacturing reports into Power BI desktop for analysis. Option A, SharePoint folder connector retrieves all files from document libraries. Using transform lets the team filter by the manufacturing reports library path, ensuring only those Excel files are loaded into Power BI for analysis. Let's keep it. Option B, SharePoint list connector is designed for list data such as tasks or calendars. It cannot access Excel files stored in document libraries, so filtering won't achieve the requirement. Incorrect. Now option C, combining and loading brings in every file from the site without filtering. This fails the requirement to include only manufacturing reports, leading to unnecessary data in the dataset. Wrong choice. Option D, SharePoint list connector doesn't support document libraries. Attempting to load from it will not return Excel files, making this option invalid for the scenario. Option A is the right answer. Here we go with a brainstorming question. We need to query that shows one row per employee, including city, state or region and country. Option A says join tables using location ID. Merge performs a join on location ID, combining employee details with location fields. This produces one row per employee with city, state or region and country included. Let's keep it. Now option B, grouping aggregates data into summaries. It collapses rows instead of joining details, so employee level information is lost. Option C, transpose flips rows into columns, but it doesn't combine employee and location data. Wrong choice. Option D says stack tables vertically. Appending stacks table vertically. Since employee and location have different columns, this results in mismatched rows rather than joint details. Incorrect. Option A, joint tables using location ID is the right answer. Okay, we need a new report which needs to be created from the same data, and the solution should minimize development effort. Option A says Power BI dataset. Power BI dataset already contains tables, relationships, and measures from the published report. Reusing it allows the new report to leverage the existing model without rebuilding, saving time and effort. Let's keep it. Option B, connecting to the folder means starting from raw files again, requiring queries, relationships, and measures to be recreated. Incorrect. Option C, data flows handle transformation but do not carry measures or relationships. The model would still need to be rebuilt in Power BI. Wrong choice. Option D says Excel workbook. Connecting to the workbook is similar to SharePoint folder. Only raw data, no measures or model reuse. This will lead to extra work, which is against the goal of the equation of development effort. Incorrect. Option A, Power BI dataset is the right choice. So please don't go away. Let's meet in next part of this series. If you want the PDF version of this course, please enroll in Diamond membership or above by clicking the join button now. Once enrolled, please connect and inbox me on LinkedIn @CloudGuruAmit or Instagram @AmitPhysique. I'll be glad to help you out with the PDF version of this course and hands-on files if available for this course. Thank you so much for watching this video.